Cop tries to pull a paralyzed man out of the car. Here's the video. I will give you the background.
He can't walk. Why you keep testing him?
He shouldn't be driving if he can't walk.
What the heck? He can drive.
He doesn't have a license.
Shut up. You on camera. He can't get out. Why you keep testing him?
I can't walk. I can't walk.
License, calm down, license. Why is that? Calm down.
He can't walk. He's not gonna make
I'm
it
gonna put me on the floor. Come on. You gonna put me on the floor?
What's the best number?
Get back.
Bitch.
Back up.
Bobby, get up here. Calm down. Bobby, get up here.
No, because he's trying to make you get out the car. You can't walk. You can't 1, 2, 3, bitch. What you talking about?
I'm the other one. I'm the other one from me. You gotta hold me up. I can't. My legs.
Bro, he can't walk. I am, mama.
He cannot walk.
I'm helping you, man.
Bro, why you?
Oh my God.
Don't.
You guys are weird.
That's my hand.
What's wrong with these people? With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Put it up full mass. This is supposed to be a investigator, a cop. Keep that picture up. My grandfather, God rest his soul, beautiful man, great heart, one of the most compassionate men I've ever met in my life. He couldn't walk. Now, he drove every day. He drove a Cadillac. He had a hand device that was retrofitted in order to provide functionality to driving. He was able to take his wheelchair, bring it to the driver's side door, and he would put himself inside, fold up his wheelchair, toss it in the back, utilize his hand device in order to drive. So when I see something like this, an officer being this extreme in sensitivity, I mean, it didn't even cross his mind to blink, to consider, to think. All right, this was in February, okay? Per Atlanta Black Star, in a viral video, TikToker Shante Butler, a California mother, openly criticized the Stockton Police Department for how they allegedly treated her disabled son during a traffic stop earlier this year and claimed that the agency had targeted her son multiple times. So in February, she shared a 1-minute video of an interaction between her son and the officer. It appears to show the son sitting in the driver's seat while the cop held his hand, attempting to pull him out of the vehicle. He can't walk, a bystander said. Why do you keep touching him? Cop, he shouldn't be driving if he can't walk, the officer responded. The son and the bystanders continued reiterating that he could not walk while the officer grabbed his arm, continued to tug. You gotta hold me up, my legs, the son said. At the end of the video, the cop could be seen patting down the man while he held his body up with his hands. Butler explained that her son is a victim of gun violence. She accused the department of failing to provide reasonable accommodations as required by the Americans with Disabilities Act. The law provides protection and equal opportunities for individuals and with disabilities, including in public accommodations, employment, and state and local government services. The U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division website noted, quote, training, sensitivity, and awareness will help to build equitable treatment of individuals with disabilities as well as effective law enforcement. Butler slammed the officer for how he responded when he was notified about her son's disability. She said she wanted to seek justice and was looking into hiring an attorney. Atlanta Black Star reached out to Butler and Stockton for comment. The officer proceeded to forcefully remove him from the car, causing great distress for both him and any witnesses present, she wrote. They should have made modifications as required by the Americans with Disabilities Act, but they did not. This is not acceptable, and there are repercussions for everyone's actions, end quote. A similar scenario happened to a paralyzed man last year when Maryland deputies caused him to fall out of a car and sit on the ground during a mistaken identity arrest. It was captured by his wife, who informed officers about his condition. The officers eventually put him back inside the vehicle while his wife grabbed his wheelchair. Despite the couple telling the officers they had the wrong person, the man was handcuffed, but later let go after they admitted they made a mistake. In Dayton, Ohio, a paraplegic man, Clifford Owensby, received $125,000 from the city in a settlement last year after claiming he was discriminated against by police officers, local news reported. During a traffic stop, he alleged that officers pulled him out of his car by his locks, injuring him. He also accused them of illegally seizing more than $20,000 of his money out of the vehicle. One officer involved said they were conducting a drug investigation at the time, per the report, and claimed that he was being actively passive aggressive, non-compliant, and didn't listen to any of our commands. The officers didn't find any contraband inside of his vehicle. Why is this happening? Is it because the cop is just dumb? Well, that's part of it. The other part is the cop doesn't believe the story from Black people. He doesn't believe the individual in the car. He doesn't believe the multiple bystanders who are telling him the exact same story, who simply know the individual. He doesn't believe the mother who is present in order to be an advocate for her son. He doesn't believe the Black narrative. We've been here before. How many times have we reported on the story? And I remember one very vividly of a Black male inside of his own store that he owns. He's there, cop comes by, cop treats him like a criminal, okay? Treats him like a criminal and says, it's because I don't know you and we got a call of somebody breaking into the building. Black male says, but I am the owner. I have my keys. Cop continues to treat him like a criminal. A random white person walks by and says, oh, no. That's Jerry. Jerry is the owner. And the officer says, I apologize. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You don't know the white guy either. So why did you believe that narrative, but not the one in front of you? And that's how implicit bias works, because I guarantee you this officer will say, this had nothing to do with race. I simply believe differently than the facts presented. But then when you look at the historical nature of some of these instances where all of the Black people are saying one narrative, but there's one white male that may co-sign, or one white female who may co-sign, all of a sudden the officer changes their entire attitude and approach. All right, this is the thoughts here.
Yeah, it must be terrifying to be a disabled person in the United States, not just because you don't have full agency over your mental or physical health, but also because there's such a lack of empathy and understanding from others, including law enforcement, who are supposed to know better. And again, the current system that we have is that if you happen to have an encounter with a bad or ignorant or trigger happy, grumpy or racist cop, you could be traumatized or worse, even killed, right? I will never understand the need for cops who have all of the power in the world, including the power to commit murder in broad daylight on camera in front of the whole country and get away with it, to exert that power over these helpless people. This cop is either an idiot who doesn't understand what it means to be paralyzed, or a bully, or both. And unfortunately, the Venn diagram with bullies and idiots, there does tend to be a lot of overlap there.
Oh, yeah.
But sure, give this dumb/bully cop more sensitivity training. I'm sure that will help. All of this could have been avoided. None of this was necessary.
That's right. That's right. All right, we will bring updates. The family is looking for an attorney. Hopefully that happens in the very near future.